Learning DAX and Power BI. Today on the channel, we're going to take a look at the week number function to add the weeks to your calendar. This will allow you to take a look at sales or revenue or profit by the actual week, and you can determine that week to start on a Sunday, or you can have that week start on a Monday, depending on which option. So we're going to take a calendar table, show you how the data looks by month, and then we're going to add in the week number, show you how the DAX formula works, show you the different days of the week you can start it on. Let's go to Power BI. Back in Power BI, this time around we're going to learn the DAX for week number, which is part of the DAX formulation so that you can use some time intelligence functions and allows you to track sales by the week number of the year. If you want to compare with different months having 30 days and some months have 31 days, you may want to take a look at the sales. In this graph, we have added a column for week, and now we can analyze it, total revenue by week, and see on a cost comparison basis, week 19, week 20, week 21. We're going to show you how to add week number, create the week if you want it to start on a Sunday or a Monday, and let's go to DAX and learn more in Power BI. Let's create the DAX formula for the week number. We have a calendar table in this report, and we have set up a date hierarchy. We do have a video up on how to create a hierarchy if you want to watch that video. But the date hierarchy has the year, the start of the month, the start of the week, and the date. We also have in this calendar the start of the quarter, and we have whether it's a weekend or not a weekend. And a weekend being defined as a Saturday, Sunday, that is a calculated column. What we are going to do now is inside the calendar lookup table, we are going to go to the data view, and we are going to create a new column. And from this new column, it's going to be a DAX measure called WeekNum. We will name this, the syntax will be week, and when you type in WeekNum, your IntelliSense says that it returns the week number of the year. So that is the function we want to use. The week number, we want to use the calendar date table. So in this one, it's called calendar, and this symbolizes that this is the calendar lookup on the date. So we will type in calendar. That'll bring up our IntelliSense, and this will bring us our date that we're using for the date field to lead the date fields. So now we have the return type, and the return type is a 1, the week begins on a Sunday, and a 2, the week begins on a Monday. So depending on when you want that week, if you want the week to start on a Monday, you want to type in a 2. If you want the week to start on a Sunday, you want to type in a 1. Now it does default to 1. So we are going to type in a 2. And if you notice, it now switches to the week beginning on a Monday. So that is the one we want to use. Then we close out the formula with a right parentheses. And if you look in the calendar lookup table, we now have the week column set up. And the week columns go all the way from 1 all the way to 53. Because of the 365 days, you have weeks 1 through 53 as part of your weeks. When we want to visualize this week that we now have set up, we can create from our visual gallery a clustered column chart. And with this chart, we are going to add a couple of different options. So the first thing we'll add on the x-axis and the y-axis. On the x-axis, we are going to go grab that new week column. And on the y-axis, we are going to add total revenue. So now we have the revenue by week, but this is for all years. So we are going to filter this by adding in a filter for the year from the calendar lookup table. And we're going to use basic filtering, and we're going to select 2022. So now we see that revenue by using a filter. We have the year 2022. We have all of the different weeks for 2022. If we want to see 2021, then we see all 53 weeks, but we can see where the revenue grew because we're using, rather than February only having 28 days, maybe 29 days in a leap year. If some of the weeks start on a Monday, some of the weeks start on a Tuesday, this way we can actually use the actual week of the year, and we could compare year over year if we wanted to see which weeks had more sales in 2020 versus 2021. If you look at the documentation for WeekNumber inside the Microsoft for DAX, you do see the documentation shows Sunday is the return type of 1, Monday is the return type of 2. And those are the two options that you have for your DAX. When you go back to Power BI, you see your week number, and then you see your total revenue. If you want to filter it by year, you can do that as well. But what this allows you to do inside your data table, now on your calendar lookup, if we wanted to add week to that date hierarchy, we could add week inside there. And we will go to add to hierarchy, date hierarchy. And now when we bring in the date hierarchy rather than the week, we can add in the date hierarchy, and we can see all of the different weeks. If you go up from 2001, 2022, we click on a data point, and for 2022, we go for the month. If we drill down, we see the week, and if we drill down again, that's the week starting. We can see the week starting, and we can drill back up by the week, and we can also see the week into that hierarchy. So it does allow us to see some of the different drill downs and add that week into the drill down. That is a look at week number. It's part of learning DAX, and definitely with the week number, you're going to want to determine the date of the week you want to start on, a 1 or a 2. A 1 is a Sunday, 2 is a Monday. And by adding that into your calendar table, it allows you to graph out either revenue or profit or orders by the week number, with week numbers 1 through 53 in the week number function in Power BI.